So did you refresh your thing?
I'm trying.
Hey guys, we're just
Now we're live.
now we are live. When? I don't see it now. Do you see it now?
I think that's us right there.
Hey!
TGIF edition. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Friday. It's about to go down. Okay, well, welcome to Marital Hate. I am Stacy, and this is my sidekick and husband,
Douglas,
who is still heartbroken because my sister-in-law said.
She said I remind her of my brother.
Said, "Oh my God, Doug is turning into Phil, Doug's older brother, who is known for being a barrel of laughs."
He's fine. He's an upstanding gentleman.
I love Phil. I mean, he's a grouch, but I love him. But you're a grouch, and I love you, so it's cool. Like,
I don't know if I consider myself a grouch.
Are you married to you?
I think I'm a delight.
No. You're a goddamn grouch. I talk to you all the time and be like, that's one of the things that's come up.
You try living with you and see how happy you are.
One of the things that's come up with the whole job search thing is just like you feeling like, and I get it. Like you got 2 houses to support, and like I'm kind of useless and whatnot. But like I think that when you set your expectations higher, things actually turn out the way that you want them to. But if you're like, oh my God, I need any job, you end up at Publix. Which is not that there's anything wrong with working at Publix. I hear that people like working there.
Which is odd because I have very high expectations for myself.
Yeah, but so instead of having
not of the world.
But instead of having high expectations for the world around you, to treat you with respect and to pay you what you're worth and what have you, you blame yourself for things other people do or that are not in your control, and that's not a good thing.
Well, maybe I always think I could have worked harder at this, or I could have did this maneuver, or I could have strove for this thing over here or whatever to put myself in a better position. So I always sort of beat myself up over that stuff, and it's probably to no avail. But
shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, what good does that do for you? So, like, I have probably about 8 billion things I could have done differently. However, if I hadn't done them exactly the way I did them, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now on this beautiful Florida evening. Everybody's getting a nice little sunset tonight. At least the tail end
about
of it.
20 minutes ago was gorgeous, and you probably would have been blinded by this big yellow thing.
So, but in about I don't know, a couple weeks, they should catch it.
Yeah, just hang in there, folks.
Hang in there,
for 2 more weeks, and you'll get not
a little
bit of sun,
a beautiful sunset, but also a monsoon, perhaps a tornado, really flying fish. Anything can happen. It's Florida.
In Fort Myers, during the hurricane, there was a shark swimming in a road,
which had previously been like faked, but this actually happened.
Right, but it actually happened.
There was like really a shark.
And then when the waters receded, there was a gar, like a big 8-foot gar stuck in a fence.
Explain what a gar is.
A gar is a large prehistoric fish with teeth. It basically looks like the face of the thing looks like an alligator, and the rest of it looks like a fish, and a very large fish with like prehistoric scales on it. It's
You want one, don't you?
No, I don't want one.
Is there one in the bathtub right now?
No,
I cannot have a fish in the bathtub, but
it would be in the pool. It'd be in the pool.
No, I swim in the pool naked. It's gonna go in my cooch.
That's not good. And it's a. Anyways, folks, maybe we can post the photo of the post-storm gar stuck in a fence.
No, we're gonna have to figure out. That's one of the many things that we still have to figure out is how to integrate video, how to integrate. But because we do a live show, I don't think that we really can do that. I think it has to be edited and in post.
Well, Joe Rogan has his guy says, "Hey, bring that up from the internet," and then they look at it and they talk about it.
God, Joe Rogan's really doing a terrible job with his. What is it?
You know what? He's got people.
He's getting like 100 million or something for.
We're not doing this for the money, folks. We're doing this.
I mean, I would do it for money.
Because we got nothing better to do, honestly.
But it's actually interesting. Something that's happened is we started doing the podcast like for fun, and we thought maybe we'd make the world a better place, maybe we'd make a little money, and we've just been trying to be a positive light. And, we're just being ourselves and talking about our real lives. And that was like I talked to my pal Todd today, who's here right now, on watching, that we just try to be real. And because we think so many people are so fake, we want to be honest with you about what's happening in our life and our world. And so if we ever get to the point where we are endorsing products, you'll be like, oh yeah, only Stacey and Doug would only endorse a product that they really believe in. Or, you know, I don't know. I feel like, especially we were talking about how when you watch the news, you never know like what's going to be real. And what's edited, what's not edited, how are things being shown, why aren't we being told the whole truth? There isn't such a thing as truth in this world anymore. Even like reality TV, so-called reality TV, it's just unscripted. And then they tend to, you know, redo cuts and, you know, they're really shooting. It's a filming situation. Whereas this is just like, we sit down, I can't control myself, and I say all kinds of ridiculous things while my husband sits there biting his tongue because he's a private man and turning into his older brother Phil.
I think a lot
Grouch.
I think a lot of what my role in this whole situation is just keeping you back on the tangent that you were on originally.
Well, I got a phone call today saying that you're doing a terrible job about that.
I didn't realize it was my job until today, so I need to, you know, cut me a little slack.
We've been married for 10 years. You're just realizing it's your job?
Reining it in. Yeah, I often like. Well, Stacey always asks me, "What's it like being married to her?" And there's always a different answer. And usually I respond, "It's like a parking lot carnival. You know, it's a little dangerous, but it might be a little fun.
A little."
And
Am I only
you might need a tetanus shot.
Am I only a little fun though?
You're fun enough. We'll just say that.
That's why people say you're turning into Phil. That is not a compliment.
What?
It's not a compliment.
Is it fun when you get your Jeep stuck in the middle of the woods?
Hell yeah. So much fun. Oh my God. Which time? Which time?
The one that we have the photo on our fridge.
Where it's
mud's up to here,
buried up to the rails and mud.
Up to the running
and
boards.
And I called. So I'm the kind of person who believes that we should take really good care of, you know, people in the trades, service people, because.
But beat the crap out of your vehicle. Oh wait.
I'm supporting local businesses. I don't take my Jeep to the dealer. I take my Jeep to a local business. Back home, I would take him to Harbor Service on First Parish Road, which is weird because it used to be in the harbor, but now it's on First Parish. And Chucky, there is the man. I love him. You know, Ryan's cool too. And you know, Keith, and I think Sully is still doing inspections, and then there's the other Sully. I think
how many
finally
Sullys
retired.
are there?
It's situated.
Oh, it is situated, right?
Population 18,000, 14,000.
And there's a Captain Snappy's liquor package store. It's a package
called
store.
Captain Snappy's.
Captain Snappy's.
In any case, what was I talking about?
Fixing your Jeep, Chucky, local businesses.
So I went to the one, and I go here in Cape Coral. I go to Mechanic Max, and I've become friendly with. And I don't know if Tony's the owner, the manager, or if he works there. I love him. He's the best. He's actually a Floridian, and out in Lehigh, and he and his wife did so much post Hurricane Ian stuff to help people. They went around and delivered meals, and we were so sick. We had wicked COVID. Or we think it was COVID. It was a flu. I don't know. It wasn't
mystery
good.
disease.
Mystery disease
brought from the Gulf of Mexico.
But,
the 90-degree waters shot right into our
we were in
mucous membranes.
We were in Fort Lauderdale, so I don't really what it was.
Well, we were here for the storm, but then we were over there. So I think it incubated.
I think we got sick over there. But
we might have herpes from the 80s. You know, Fort Lauderdale was a big spring break thing, so we might have caught some STD.
I didn't catch any STDs. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It was left over there. It's in the groundwater.
Back to my story, because you're the one derailing us today. My the guy Tony is super cool guy, and I take my Jeep there. So I haven't gotten to this point with Tony yet, but I did make a point of bribing Chucky every year, and also like we were just friends. Like I just liked the guy. I would always ask about his wife and kids, and you know, support them in whatever way I could. Dance when they're selling stuff for dance school, and I'd always try to help out. And because he took such good care of me, I highly recommend them. But that day we went off-roading where you're definitely not supposed to. Power lines, don't do that. And we got stuck in the mud, and we had nothing with us. And I was wearing sparkly Chuck Taylors. And Chucky was asking me where I was. He was on a call. He was going to come out and tow us out and just bill my AAA. And which would have been fine because I was close enough to the road. And my buddy was insistent that he could get me out. And he did not want to call. He didn't want Chucky to come. And I was a little, like, I didn't want to put him in a bad position, but he was pretty well convinced that the hook would reach. So anyway, my friend got down on his hands and knees and grabbed like a stick and was just digging and digging and digging and like had his whole arm under the tire of the Jeep just pulling dirt and rocks, and we eventually got it out of there, and that was a good time. And then there was the time that we were in Marshfield, in that area by the dump that's like cordoned off now.
It's dangerous.
And we had gone up the top of this super steep hill, and all of a sudden my transfer case became disengaged, so I couldn't shift at all. And that it's just like a cheap plastic clip, and apparently it comes dislodged. So we learned. I had again called Chucky.
Had to be
Love
taught
the
how
man.
to re-engage that.
Called him, found out what we had to do, and sure enough, we could just reach under there and re-engage it. And then there's the time I went off-roading with Donna, and Donna swore she would never off-road with me.
It wasn't even off-roading. It was just a bumpy road.
We were down by the South Shore, not the South Shore. What's it called?
Kingston,
Behind the Kingston Collection. And we went. I really don't have any fear, and the Jeep's paid for. So I drove through some pretty intense puddles. We were all covered from head to toe in mud, and eventually got stuck in a puddle because, once again, drum roll please, my transfer case became disengaged. So that was fun. Wow. And and
giant puddle.
We had to, my buddy, we had to back it out, climb underneath, water and mud just pouring out from underneath.
Sounds like fun.
My buddy climbed underneath and did it, and my friend Donna was cursed for like the next 3 days.
It wasn't even, her Jeep didn't even get dirty.
No, her Jeep got dirty, but they cleaned that one. Mine's still dirty.
Yes,
that
I know.
Day, inside and out.
Yeah, I try to clean it. No, touch the dirt.
Stacy, you need to have your so now I'm kind of babying my Jeep because it's got 210,000 miles on it. And,
well, you could clean your windshield.
Broke. I cannot clean my windshield.
Oh
I can't stand for more than 5 minutes. I have to make you do it.
Well, I can do it, but you don't really allow me to clean your windshield. I've never seen anybody in my life.
These are the things you're allowed to clean in the Jeep. Well, I mean, you could wash the outside of it if you could figure out a way to do it without putting the top back on. I would allow that because it hasn't been cleaned in a very long time.
You would allow me to wash your car.
You can clean the cup holders. It's registered in your name.
Well, that's true.
And you can
clean
the
windshield.
Still? Yeah.
Okay.
We're still married.
I thought we had swapped them over in Florida because
no, we had a whole conversation. I said things were not dicey, y'all. Things we've been through some shit over the years, and I think we've had like a stretch of, I don't know, maybe 3 days, a longer stretch where we want to kill each other.
That happens all the time.
It doesn't happen all the time, but we've had stretches of, I'd say twice a year of 3 days where we want to murder each other. Yeah. Doug has this thing he does where he shuts down completely. I am not a fan of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, I just might get overload, and I just have to shut down for 3 days, go away, come back. I just realized
maybe you could just leave the house because you and your bad energy. I'm all set. Thank you.
Get me a hotel.
Go ahead. Fine. Have fun. Get hookers. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
I just don't want your negative energy around me. And it's actually funny because
you heard it here first.
This came up. So last night, I remembered after Doug's doing his wind down play. What do you call it?
Mario Kart. But I need to explain one thing. I'm in training. So when my son Nolan was here, he's like third in the world maybe in Mario Kart. So I hadn't played in years. So I started playing. I was useless, right? Part of that game is you have to memorize the courses, et cetera, the shortcuts. So I'm in training for the next time he comes back, whenever that is. So
so it's his little thing he does every night.
So I'm in training. I'm gonna be ready.
I'm gonna force you to work on your music all weekend.
I kind of finalized a couple songs today. I'm very, very happy with them. I just need them to sound better.
And the thing about this editing of the music and trying to, like, it's much like the podcast. When you're editing and trying to figure it out on your own, you don't really know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
It's certainly not going to come out as well as somebody who's a professional who's has proper equipment, has been doing it for 50 years.
Sounds great on headphones. You take it to any other device, it goes to crap.
So if there's anybody out there who records their music who's been able to resolve this problem, please let me know. Actually, Todd is a pianist.
Oh,
he may know, and he has a lot
Be careful how you pronounce pianist.
Say pianist however you want. Pianist is easier to say, I think. It's hot tonight.
It is a little warm out here tonight, and my son Wesley informed me that it'll reach 90 next week, and it'll probably stay 90 until about November of next year. So
it's currently 80. And it doesn't say how humid it is, but I'm telling you, it's Florida.
And I did check the radar tonight, and most of New Hampshire and Maine is snowing. And I know that parts of Massachusetts got a little snow today due to my friend Mark had posted about it. So what did I do to be a good friend? I sent him the thermometer from the pool, which is at 82.
you're a terrible friend, and you are, Phil.
I'm terrible.
But George was at the Woo Sox
Oh
game.
yeah, that was the other nice thing that happened today. So my friend George is at the Woo Sox opener today in Worcester, Mass, the farm team for the Red Sox, and 1986 pitcher Oil Can Boyd was one of our favorites back then. He was kind of a character. He was in the luxury box, so George sent me a little cameo type clip saying hi Doug, from Oil Can. It was pretty awesome. So
Actually, you could play it for them through your. Oh, that would be weird. I actually wanted to see what the score was. Did the Red Sox win their home opener?
they did not. They lost it, and apparently we traded for a guy from the Yankees who started for us and did horribly. I think it was like 10-something.
Yankees suck.
Wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Well, that's what Red Sox fans want you to
So
think.
you're supposed to say. But I will say, I was a Yankee fan from an early age.
Well, you're not really a
terrible
sports
way?
person, though.
I'm not really a sports person, but I was a wicked tomboy as a kid. My dad had gotten me a Yankees batting cap from somewhere, and so
Trash from like a dumpster.
Behind
the high
I
school.
don't know if he was probably.
I don't
who
know.
knows?
I'm guessing.
But I wore that and a red T-shirt that said "Anything a boy can do, I can do better." Jeans and
It's not true, by the way.
Well,
I'm just kidding. You can have. Actually, we were talking about that today. You can make babies and grow babies and things like that. I can't do that.
maybe. But I wore construction boots. They had to have special. I had super narrow feet as a kid, and so they had these.
See, I had wide feet. I know your pain.
I don't know. They had construction boots special made for me. I was like a cute little girl.
Of all things, you get a little girl some construction boots. Oh, we're gonna special make these shoes. We're not gonna give you pumps or espadrilles. I don't even know what an espadrille is.
No, I was like 10 years old, and I think I was like
Let's
8 at the
make
time.
you some construction boots.
And I begged for them. It was all I wanted for Christmas, and they had them made special.
Why did you want construction boots, of all things?
Because I wanted to do like outdoor stuff and boy stuff, and I used to come home like covered in leeches and like rip them off and catching eels.
I wonder where
and
that Lyme disease came
fishing and
covered in leeches.
scabs. As a matter of fact, we
No, don't tell the scab story. It's too gross. I can't handle that.
It's too gross. You can't handle it.
Yeah, I can't handle that scab story.
See, that's the problem with me. Is if you can't handle the truth, you do not want to talk to me because I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I can't help it. I wish. Actually, that's true.
But that's a gross out story, not like a too much information story. That's just a gross out story.
Maybe, but I'll tell you that you and I, early in our relationship, we were at one of my favorite stores, internationally known, IKEA, and Doug asked me a question. I answered it, even though I didn't want to. Go ahead.
It was like a Monday night or something, and like she was acting all squirrely. I'm like, are we okay here? And she was like, no.
Nope.
No. I'm like, okay, you could have told me that 2 hours ago before I faked walking around IKEA looking for a drawer hardware with you. Could have saved me some time.
I wasn't looking for drawer hardware.
I don't know what
we
you were looking
bought
for.
a desk for my office.
Yeah. Which was our coffee table, wasn't it, for a while?
We cut the legs off and turned it into our coffee table. We played many a board game at that table.
did.
But it actually this is actually a really great story.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
So we broke up for like 3 days. Doug had some stressful stuff coming up in his life, and so I was putting it off until after that was done for like a week. And
playing me along.
He just had a lot going on in his life at the time, and I was trying to get I was just trying to focus on my career, get my home settled, that kind of thing, and focus on my kids. And I just didn't feel like his drama was going to work for me. And lo and behold, it's a good thing I hung on because a year later I was effectively bedridden from my illness. It's been basically 90% of the last 10 years that I've been dealing with this. And it's 90% of the last 10 years I've been bedridden. I've been able to get up here and there and do stuff. I have had entire months, probably entire years where I just couldn't do anything but go to the bathroom, maybe shower. Then I've had as much as like I can get like a half a day and then I have to recover for a week. But the best is like if I haven't learned to pace myself. So if I start to feel a little bit better, I'm able to do a little bit more. As anybody with a chronic illness or who is getting old may know, you have to pace yourself. But I will tell you, I had been feeling like fucking death since Saturday, I think it was. And obviously a big part of that is that I couldn't poop, and I am happy to tell everyone in America that the log jam has broken. I pooped and I feel a lot better. I still feel like crap, like Lyme wise, and I'm exhausted and all the normal stuff, but not as awful as I have felt. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That just popped up on my CNN feed that
hey, listen.
the logjam is broken.
The logjam is broken.
All the major carriers are reporting.
And it's so cute too because like somebody asked about it was like a health feed on TikTok, and somebody was talking about different herbs that work for various things, and I said, what do you got for constipation, because I've tried everything, and I really had, and people are coming in with like these amateur hour suggestions. So I'm like, you have no idea. I keep like hiccuping. You have no idea.
Oh.
You have no idea. All the other ones were little, and they were like so small, they were like burps, and I was like trying to, I'm like, oh my god, I hope people don't think I'm burping.
I thought you
like,
were just seizing up. I thought you were I thought you had gone on a tanning bed and had seizures or something. That's an inside joke, folks.
Yeah, we were told specifically not to have our inside jokes. We might have to tell people about jelly brains one day.
Nope.
Anyway,
not today, folks. You're out of luck.
So what were we talking about?
Back to you, and you're miserable, and you're pooping, and now you're better, and now but you're still miserable, but at least
when we were dating, so when we met, so we'd broken up.
That was 3 stories ago.
Okay, we
met, we broke up, whatever.
We broke up in the IKEA parking lot, and we went to Brimfield that weekend as friends, and everybody that met us was like, "Oh, you guys are perfect together," and we're like, "We're just friends." And then he bought me a turtle ring, which I still have
because I love turtles.
He loves turtles.
As if you didn't know.
He's obsessed. Wait till you see the video of him doing a turtle impression. It's maybe the funniest thing you'll ever see in your life. So, we ended up getting back a week later. I think it was that we hooked up. Like we were broken up, but not broken up. And then
actually, I do remember that. That was the best part of breaking up. Those Folgers in your cup. That's what I'm talking about.
What are you, creepy old man?
There was no Folgers. There was no.
No, don't drink coffee. Gross. We don't drink coffee. Neither one of us. Go figure.
I like myself a nice iced coffee though.
I will enjoy like a once or twice a year pumpkin spice, and I do enjoy a iced peppermint mocha.
That makes you basic,
but it still gives me that taste. Yes, I'm basic.
Although, yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I do like I love the taste of coffee. I would eat coffee ice cream. I would eat whatever, but I can't drink hot coffee. It's like it tastes granular to me. Like it feels like I don't know.
What about like a shishi frou latte?
Not even that. I gotta go iced coffee all the way. Yeah.
Do you drink any warm fluids?
Not exactly. No, actually, hot chocolate I will drink. I had
tea.
Broth.
No, I tried to get you to drink tea the other day.
I'm not a tea person. I'll drink iced tea again.
Yeah, but you had a sore throat. Warm liquids is what you needed.
My throat hurt so bad.
He was so sick. So anyway, the point is that we.
But look at me now.
Okay, you're healthy. So we were talking about getting back together, but we had like a bunch of different.
It was the détente, is what it was.
There was a bunch of just stuff going on that was just overwhelming, and I told Doug I wanted a PowerPoint presentation, and he did. He made me a PowerPoint presentation breaking down how we were going to solve all of our problems, and we did, and not so long after that we got engaged. Not so long after that, we got married. Then I got sick as a wedding gift to my husband, and the rest is history. Then we, had to move a bunch of times, job losses a bunch of times, just all kinds of excitement. We never have a dull moment, even though now we're old people who live in Florida. Do not leave the house. Neither of us have jobs. We don't leave the house.
There's things that will kill you outside of these.
We don't even leave these walls. Our lizards are friendly.
We have friendly lizards, but there's some big lizards with teeth that aren't so friendly.
Yeah, but they don't come into our pool area.
Well, that's
we don't really go in it. You take the trash out once a week.
I do. I got to look both ways, run out there.
What, for owls? They're out there.
Yeah, the owls will get you. There was an ibis in the yard today. Actually, there was
like a white bird with a long beak.
Long beak. They were strutting around.
They're so cute.
They're pretty. It's like for me, anyways. It's like I'm so used to knowing all the flora and fauna
where
I live, and then I come down here and I'm like, what the hell is that?
We see birds all the time that are so beautiful, and we don't know the names, so we call them fancy fucking birds. I'm like, oh, look at that fancy fucking bird. Oh, look at that fancy fucking bird.
It's like they're dressed up for some sort of gala event. Is it gala?
Oh my god! Sandhill cranes they're crazy. They're gigantic. Where were we? Were we at? I don't even know what that was. We were at the Beanpot Cafe in...
Oh, yeah, and it came right up to the table.
Check this place out. I think it's Port Charlotte, or it might be Northport. It's the Beanpot Cafe. It's
Port
not
Charlotte,
far
okay.
from Black Widow Harley. No, that's not Black Widow Harley. Which Harley is that? It's by Twisted Fork.
Twisted Fork, yeah.
Across and up the road by the Twisted Fork, it's kind of hidden away, this great little spot. But anyway, there's this big freaking white bird, like this big, walks right up to me, and I'm like, oh, hello there. I didn't even see it.
Well, he was on the path. Like there's tables outside, and he was on the path to get back to the car, and there it was right there. He was not moving. So people were feeding him chips off the table, or he was actually grabbing them off the table. I think because he was that tall.
Listen, that place's food is so good. I'm not sharing. I don't care how cute the bird is.
They
have the mom's potato salad.
They make their potato salad is as close to my mom's as you can humanly get. I take a bite and I'm like, wait a minute, what like I expected open a curtain. There's my 90-year-old mom, right? Had faked her death, moved to Florida, and made potato salad for people down here. Could have happened.
I can think of many times as a parent where I wanted to fake my death. But I live in Florida and nobody talks to me, so it works out. So we got married, we stayed married. We like each other most of the time. Now we have this podcast.
We like each other, yeah.
What else were we talking about? We were talking about I don't know, it's Friday and we're exhausted. We're going to talk about dreadlocks.
We're talking about dreadlocks, and I was also going to talk about, if I can just jam this in there,
please,
how you make friends with people from today.
Oh, the most random people.
I don't even know how I said, and she's like, oh, my friend Cleo, and I forget what it was. It was a guy's name. I don't remember.
Todd?
No, it wasn't Todd. It was some other. It was a
Billy.
Corey, something like that.
Oh yeah, Cody.
Oh, and he worked for Amazon. So people she'll call for customer service, be on the phone for half an hour, and then they end up at
Cody
Thanksgiving.
from Amazon. He actually lives out in Vegas. He's looking for a new job. He's an avid reader, and he's looking for love. He's a younger guy, I think mid-20s. Super nice. He's into more, I don't want to say emo, but he's into more artsy stuff, even more artsy than we are. But he's a really nice guy, and yeah, we got chatting while I was on. They screwed up my credits with my Audible account at one point, and I talked
First
to
world
him.
problem.
He was asking me what kind of books I liked. He was trying to sell me on a membership. I was like, listen, I have 20 books here I haven't listened to, and now you just gave me 10 more credits. We'll talk. But we just became friends. We've been Facebook friends, and I love watching him. He's from the Las Vegas area. His parents were both performers.
No kidding.
Yeah, really interesting guy. So yes, to Doug's point, I make friends everywhere I go. And some of those friends are just the most random, and some of them are not random at all. So for example, my friend Todd, who called me today and is watching the video, and he just told us to watch out for those bats. Bats are not really a problem for us because we have a pool cage. It is a fully screened in area that keeps us from getting eaten by bats. But I love bats.
Unless they're big bats and can just Kool-Aid Man right through the screen.
I have a bat story.
I know you have a bat story.
Family has a vacation home. It's my aunt.
I'm surprised you're not friends with a bat that helped you inline it.
Bats, I'm your friend. Come here.
At Target.
Play. Bats. I'm willing to be friends with any marsupials that are interested.
Bats are not marsupials; they're mammals.
Oh, they're not?
No.
They hang upside down.
Do you think all marsupials hang upside down? Name one.
Dracula.
Possum. Dracula's a marsupial. Has a prehensile tail.
I don't know.
We talk about prehensile tails here on the on
we'll get back to the prehensile tail later. Oh yeah, that's right. The prehensile tail furry situation that you would use to
guitar
pull your
player,
G-string.
yeah.
If you guys,
it's a B string, but whatever.
The problem is we have brought you all into our inside jokes, and if you don't follow along, you won't know. So if we talk about something, you're like, "What are you people talking about?" We'll fill you in, or we'll at least tell you which episode to watch. So, anyway, the bats.
We could tell a bat story, or you could get back to your dreadlocks.
No, I was talking my bat story.
Okay.
We hadn't even started on the dreadlocks.
Okay.
So this is my bat story. So my aunt and uncle have a place up in northern New Hampshire in a town called Stark. It's about this big. It's on a lake. It's all surrounded by state forest. It's absolutely gorgeous. I went up. I don't know if it was one summer or what it was, but I went up for the weekend, and I was sleeping on the couch. So I lay down on the couch, and it's like a 3-season porch, but it was summer, so it's fine. And there's something flying around. I'm like, there's a bat on the porch. And because I have lucid dreams, one of the things that happens if you have narcolepsy like I do is that, actually that's a whole other story, the narcolepsy story, remind me, but is you have vivid dreams. But, I was pretty sure I saw a bat. So I like freak out and I like tell that there's a bat. My aunt and uncle, there's a bat. No, there isn't. Next morning, there was a freaking bat. Yeah, this is what happens. You don't listen to children. Oh, wow. I just realized how far that extends into my life with those
epiphany.
Particular people. Sorry, I just had like a total epiphany. It's a story for another time, but wow. I had an epiphany right there.
An epiphany.
Sometimes people don't believe kids when they tell them things, and sometimes people don't believe women when they tell them things, and maybe you should.
We didn't believe Gwyneth Paltrow, but apparently...
Well, you know what, though? I did not believe Gwyneth Paltrow. I didn't care. I just didn't like Gwyneth Paltrow. And I think we made that clear, that we didn't really know the facts of the case. We just...
It was more her face that she looked like she ate a lemon, and her
general
her
demeanor,
serial killer aviator glasses that she was wearing. That was not good.
Her just complete disconnection from society and the quotes that she's made in the past, and like I don't know.
The way she blinked.
But
we got really catty with that.
I also don't know. Well,
she could be lovely. We don't know.
We're also laughing about it because humor's our coping mechanism. That's all I have. Humor. Right. So we got nothing else.
The tragedy of her falling down on the ski slope.
We can only bone so many times a day.
Wow.
We have to have humor.
Wow. What are you? You really are Joy from My Name Is Earl. You kind of really are.
Oh, so you have compared me to many of the people in films. Joy for every sitcom. I'm a different person.
Yeah.
So I'm Joy from My Name Is Earl.
And we're currently watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and you're kind of equal parts Kimmy and the landlord lady.
All right, I'm going to name TV shows, and you can tell me who I am on those TV shows.
All right. Okay, go.
Gilmore Girls.
You are... Oh, you're equal parts the Gilmore girl, like the main character, and the mom. You're equal parts of the...
So Lorelai and... what's the mother's name? I don't even know the mother's name. Mrs. Gilmore.
Mrs. Gilmore.
Mrs. Gilmore. Mrs. Gilmore is my grandmother, Eloise, to the T.
Because she's like, she's very well... put together and
proper, very proper. My grandmother went to school in a convent.
And you have that from your grandparents, but you also have this sort of like, oh my God, this is a new day, and what can we create out of this? So like, it's a good balance of those. All right, whatever the show you.
Okay. So, Breaking Bad.
Oh, you're the Fly from that Fly episode.
I hate the Fly episode. It's the worst.
I love the Fly episode.
I think I'm the.
No. Who are you from Breaking Bad? There's nobody really off the rails.
I think I might be Hank.
No. Hank is the glue right there. I'm Hank.
What am I not the glue? Yeah, but you're not like Hank is like kind of like aggressive. You're not aggressive. You're a sweetheart.
I'm not.
You're like a nice guy.
You know what? I don't feel the need to convince anybody how manly I am.
I do.
What?
You feel the need to convince people how manly I am. They actually say that that's like a sign of like not being like women lean into their masculine when they don't feel like safe. So it's
Do you feel safe?
I mean, no. I mean, I've had a life of trauma. That's you react to it how you react to it. Okay. So Breaking Bad, you have to come up with
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Maybe I am not on Breaking Bad. What about
you know what? Maybe you're Saul from Breaking Bad.
Oh, I might be Saul. You're right. I'm totally Saul. I come up with creative solutions in gray area.
You really do, yeah.
I can do that from time to time. What about like what I'm saying is like if someone is, I'm not gonna be like if someone is terrible to me, I'm not gonna like fight with them or get into it with them. But I will find a creative solution to deal with them, and usually it involves having nothing to do with them. But I wish them well, and it's you gave me shit about this yesterday. He was like, when you end an argument, you'll say you're gonna pray for someone, you wish them peace, love, and happiness. I mean it. Like when I say that, I genuinely mean it, and I will like literally like stop what I'm doing and say a prayer for that person. And as much as I'm praying for them or saying I wish this person peace, love, and happiness, and sometimes it comes out as I wish this fucking asshole peace, love, and happiness, and I have to say it over and over and over again until I really feel it. I'm doing it for that person. I'm doing it for myself, and I'm doing it for the universe. So, make fun of me, but it works. So back to the television shows of crazy people I remind you of. The Sopranos.
Ooh. Equal parts All right, you're equal parts Tony, the chef, because you like to accommodate people. You're like, you take care of people, right? And Dre Di Matteo, because
He wishes I was Drea Di Matteo.
she's got nothing on you.
I wish I was Drea. I wish you were Drea Di Matteo. She's hot as shit.
If I was Dre Di Matteo, I wouldn't leave the house. No,
We don't leave the house now.
I will say that, but that show, my comment about Sopranos is that show's all about the Christopher character. Everybody thinks it's about Tony. It's Christopher.
I love Michael Imperioli.
He's
my
great.
favorite show. He was in Californication in the very last season, and the way they ended it, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to tell you, but they could have done a spin-off with him and Heather Graham. And I wish they had, because I just love him, and I love her.
He's great. But the weird thing was,
actually, people have said I reminded them of Heather Graham. People have said Heather Graham, Michelle Pfeiffer, back when I was skinny. Although my mom looks way more like Michelle Pfeiffer, or did look more like Michelle Pfeiffer. And then I know that sounds crazy if you don't know what I used to look like, but trust me, there's pictures on my Facebook or whatever. So Claire Danes and Heather Graham. Those are the ones I've gone.
A young Claire Danes. I could see that in a young you would be good.
But I also have like a very serious Jodie Foster kind of quality about me at times. Like when I'm in the zone, I'm focused, and it's annoying.
Yeah. Like your mind's like a computer.
It really is. I told you I was smarter than AI yesterday.
You were.
Yeah.
You're Stacy GBT.
Could you imagine? I talk Chat GPT's ear off all freaking day. I've been using it for everything. I love it.
I will say this about Michael Imperioli. I love the guy, but in series that we really liked, which is White Lotus, the second one, he wasn't all that great in it. Like his part was just sort of like wallpaper. I think
I thought he was good.
A lot of the other folks were like the Aubrey Plaza was amazing.
I thought he was
Jennifer
really good in it. I disagree.
He was
with you.
good. He was good, but he wasn't like you. Like a lot of times when he's on screen, you can't.
That was
take
an absolutely fantastic ensemble cast.
They both were.
My stepson does the best Jennifer Coolidge impression.
It's
Nolan,
so funny. Make you cry.
Doug's son Nolan, who's gay.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Nolan would tell you that he's gay.
Everybody will tell you about it because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
We were here and we were watching it together.
Oh my God, it was
and
great.
Nolan hadn't even seen it yet, and he had seen the gays are trying to kill me. I can't do it. When Nolan comes, we will get him to do the impression for you. He sounds exactly like Jennifer Coolidge, and I feel like with enough makeup and the right outfit, I could look like Jennifer Coolidge, and maybe we could be like.
She's from Norwell, Norwell, Mass.
Actually, one of my daughters ran into her at Legal Seafood one day in Braintree. Was it Braintree there?
She was spending that Legally Blonde money on
perhaps
swordfish.
Perhaps, but I'd like to thank her for making MILFs a thing because
Huh? Oh, you like to go out and MILF out?
Not really, but I went back to college as a returning student. I graduated in 2007, so I did it in 2 years. I had some community college just prior to that. And obviously I was, at the time I was really like hot, and I was getting called a MILF and getting asked out by college students every day, and it was hilarious. I would be like, oh, no, that's sweetie, but I'll pay you $20 to mow my lawn. Like, shirtless. Which, of course, people thought was a euphemism. I didn't want them to be shirtless. I didn't find it to be attractive. When you're a woman, like if I was like a 20-year-old stupid girl, sorry, but when you're 20, you're generally stupid. You'll grow out of it. I did.
I think everybody when they're 20 is, is relatively clueless. But
but what
they come around.
What I'm saying is, as a 20-year-old girl, you're more inclined to be interested in these boys, and I was really, I had 4 children, so. As much as keggers and razor scooters are great, I will maybe throw a frisbee with you in the quad, but I'm not interested in you. But it's funny because I had more than one professor ask me out, and that was super awkward for me. So
you were tempted by that Nabokov
No,
book.
not at all. Not at all.
It's a police song waiting to be written.
I thought it was actually really skeevy on their part, to be honest with you, because I was in their classes at the time.
Yes, I think that's a big no-no.
Like, if I was done with the class, it would be totally cool. And, like, I gotten A's in the classes on my own merit. I got A's and everything on my own merit. But, except Dr. Parzik, who was the best professor in the world. I love Dr. Parzik so much. He would talk about polka parties and Plonchky and just everything. And when so Dr. Parzik I went to Eastern Connecticut State University, has an economics department of 80 students at the time. It was 2007. Maybe it's 160 now.
It's a hotbed of economic education.
Dr. Kenneth Parzik was the best. I had him for
Kenneth.
like half of my classes, and I had a midterm coming up, and it was the review, and I had a kid homesick from school, so I brought her to the midterm, and I had asked Dr. Parzik if it was okay. He said, of course. And the kid is home puking, and he's giving her cookies, and I'm like, thank you, Dr. Parzik.
He didn't get the instructions on children.
He was the absolute best. So I had one semester where I took it was basically like a custom class. Like you basically made your own class and you got a teacher to sponsor you.
Right. Yeah.
So this
Open
class,
study or whatever.
but it was because the class wasn't going to be available in order for us to graduate. So there was this other returning student. It was a dad. Oh my God, he was all over me. I'm like, you're a college student. Like, call me when you have a job, because I'm a gold digger.
Yikes.
Yikes. Just not a very
Call
good
me
one.
yeah.
No, but
all right.
Well, and he was boning every girl at that school too. That's what happens when your daughters go away to college. I think it's just sex. I don't think that they're going to learn anymore. They're just going to do ChatGPT. But back to my point.
Well, as you know, my dad was a college professor, and I only remember one student ever hitting on him, and that was a guy.
Well, that's probably the only one he told you about.
No.
Your mom wouldn't think it was funny if young girls were hitting on your dad, but
this guy, I'm in love with you, Dr. Gear.
Hang on. Dr. Gear looked like this young man right here. Look at that. What is that? The profile of a goddess? Is that what they told you?
A goddess?
What did the gays tell you?
Oh, a face of perfection.
The face. This right here. The face of perfection. Look at the lips. He's grown into the lips in his old age.
Anyways.
Are you telling me that
my dad was very nice in that situation?
Hang on. I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Okay.
Are you telling me that a man that looked just like that was only getting hit on once, and it was only once, and it was only by a dude? Please. He just wasn't telling your mother.
Wow. You're saying that my father kept things from my mother?
I
don't think that's very respectful.
I think a lot of people keep things from their spouses.
Except for you, right?
No, I tell you everything.
Yeah,
I tell everybody everything. Hello, Internet.
Yeah.
Let me tell you everything.
That's what this podcast is about. No secrets.
So, I have no idea what the hell we were talking about.
Well, we were talking about, we started with the who are you on different TV shows.
Oh, who am I on Friends?
I dislike Friends so much that it's hard for me to even I'm
a little Monica and a little Phoebe. I have the OCD Monica stuff, and I have the free-spirited Phoebe stuff, and then I don't really have the Jennifer Aniston stuff. I wish I looked like Jennifer Aniston. She's gorgeous.
I'll tell you why I dislike that show. I don't think it was funny, and then they had to introduce things like a monkey. Like, why would somebody...
The monkey was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, it made no sense. It was just a cheap laugh. And then later, they didn't have the monkey anymore, so they got a duck. So I'm like, all right, that's just... Oh, and then the duck lays eggs in the foosball table, and it was just lame. I'm sorry. There were a couple funny lines in it. I think Joey was funny in that show.
You were right. He's grouchy, like his old-ass brother.
There are so many funnier shows than that deserve that level of critique. But I think what it is that...
It was just a simple question, which you did not answer.
I didn't answer. I don't think there's anybody on there that you... Oh, you know who you are? You're the barista at the coffee shop. That's who you are.
I'm Gunther.
Yeah, you're Gunther.
I'm not Gunther.
I have such a little interest in that show, but
you're the grouchy person on every single show.
How am I the grouchy person? Because I expect good comedy up here. I want my comedy up here. I'm up to here. Right
don't know what to tell you. It's not.
Gum chewing is unprofessional. That's funny.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's
yes,
okay.
You do.
So we were going to talk about we started talking about how I meet random people.
Yes.
So So one of the random people is here now. My friend Todd. I know him from my friend Deb. Deb was an assistant for a rep that in Oregon when I worked at BTS in Massachusetts. She was the rep's assistant. I haven't worked there since 2008, and she and I became friends. She's actually flown out to come to my house, and Todd is actually one of her friends. And what we have in common is that we have a chronic illness.
That's a mutual friend.
Yeah. Well, he's my new mutual. He's my friend, and I actually haven't talked to her lately, but I talked to him today.
Todd, we'll work on being friends, me and you. I have like a 3-page application. I'll fax it to you.
Just like pretend to like turtles and he'll be your friend.
Turtles, yeah. Turtles go a long way to be my friend.
Wait till you guys see the video of him being a turtle. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing.
My wife spent hours making this really like deluxe dessert from scratch, and I end up eating it on all fours on our dining room table, as if I'm a tortoise.
To be a turtle.
Yeah. And then I ate hers. I crawled across the
send it to
table, ate hers. It was
It was worth missing out on my Napoleon, my homemade from scratch Napoleon.
Yeah, how come you don't make those these days? Nice Florida Napoleon.
It's called lime and pots, and I can't stand for more
You
than
know
a
what?
minute.
You have all the excuses in the world. Just make me a Napoleon. Damn it.
I'm not doing anything. Right now, I don't even know how I'm going to get through the next 15 minutes.
Oh.
And that would be a short podcast for us, but
Yeah, it would be.
we are going to talk about, drum roll please, by request,
By request.
my dreadlocks.
Your dreadlocks.
So, my dreadlocks. So,
It's the hair equivalent of nautical rope.
So what's interesting about what does it feel like? Feel them?
It feels like yarn gone wild.
Okay, but if you push on it,
It's spongy. It's
like a pillow,
yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so I because of my illness, my hair was falling out in clumps, and I would make like little art out of it on the bathroom wall and leave it there for Doug. And I would just be like, I would like literally be sitting there like, and I make a Christmas tree.
She was watching her hair fall out on a daily, and that was not good.
It was bad.
That was not good for her.
And I tried, and of course I was a hairstylist, so I knew like, dioxin, the only thing that's clinically proven to work is minoxidil. I did rosemary on my scalp. I did biotin. I did the hair and nails supplements, and none of it worked. And so I cut my hair short. That didn't work. And then I finally decided,
shave your head.
No.
Oh.
To try dreadlocks. And everyone told me not to get them. And he and I had like a fight about, like a huge fight. He's like, oh, why are you going to do that?
I liked your old hair.
And it cost a little bit of money to have them put in. I think it was $500 when I had my first
Yikes.
set put in. So
You didn't tell me that.
I actually, I think I did tell you that.
Yes, of
but
course you did.
But so what I did was I started out with just the back. So like the whole underneath. So it was so the crown was loose, but the rest was done.
It looked like she had come home from Jamaica on vacation.
Kind of. When you first get them done, they're really stiff. So you look like, I don't even know, like Coolio. Like they
do not look natural at all.
When you first get them done, and it's basically, so there's different ways to have dreadlocks. There's freeform, whereas you just don't brush your hair and you hope for the best.
So just don't stop brushing your hair. Just give up on life.
No, pretty much. I think that they separate sometimes, but that's what they do. Then there's twist and rip. So basically you section your head and you twist the hair and you go twist and then you rip and then twist and rip and it knots up and you just have to maintain your sections and palm roll. It takes time, but there's also twist and rip.
Twist and crawl.
There's back comb, which is basically they take a section and they tease it, and then back comb and crochet. And so when they will use a crochet hook to crochet your hair, and you have that instant look of dreadlocks, which is what I had. The other thing that people do is they'll get dreadlock extensions. Actually, I have a few friends that have done this, and basically what they do is you buy these dreadlock extensions, and they feed your hair through, and then they twist, and tie it with an elastic. It gives you the look of dreadlocks without the commitment. But they're usually either really, really expensive or really crappy. So I haven't seen either of my friends' dreadlocks, but I'm interested to see. You can get them single-ended or double-ended. Double-ended are nice because they give you a ton of volume. Actually, one of the locticians that I know puts extra dreadlocks in people's hair at the crown to give them extra volume. I actually have a set, and they're all bright colors and stuff, and I love them. But my dreads weigh a lot, and I have so many health issues as it is. That I don't like to add to it unless it's like a special occasion, like if I was going to a party or like a festive event. But we don't leave the house, so why would I do that? So anyway, my hair when I started was about here. I went in and I left with dreadlocks. By the time I finished, it was here. Obviously it shrinks, so the hair in the front was still hanging down over the locks a little bit, and I just cleaned it up myself because again, I'm a retired hairstylist. Like anybody can match that length. Yeah, until tomorrow when I give Doug his haircut. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'll stand.
But look at how like this looks realistic. Like this,
Looks like real hair?
Like I glued it on good today.
It's actually his hair. But what I do is buzz, but I take a number 2 and go around the whole bottom.
Nobody wants to know what number you use.
And no, they don't. But and then I do the top, like I sit and rest. Then I do the top, and then I do the edges, or sometimes I do the edges first. But it's like the longest 15 minutes of my life.
And then she's like, she's dying afterwards, and I'm like, I could have just gone somewhere. She's like, nah.
Yeah, but nobody ever does it the way I want it
yeah,
done.
and
it's I have this problem for like I do feel somewhat possessive over people's hair. Like after I've done your hair, once I've done your hair forever, I'm like looking at your hair and what it looks like and what it should look like. I can't help myself, which is good because I couldn't live on Cape Cod anymore because I would just look at everyone.
Well, I
worked at the Cape Cod Mall.
I was just thinking about how some of the best times with your dreadlocks are when you needed my help washing them.
Yeah, we're getting there. So I left the place. I had half a head of dreadlocks. So the loose hairs up top, like it could look normal if you wanted it to, or you could show your dreadlocks. And so what would happen is I'd be in the Jeep and it's very windy, so I would have to braid this or something. And 9 times out of 10, what would happen is the loose hairs would get caught with the dreadlocks because it's kind of like Velcro. And so eventually it was eating that hair. And so I decided to go with a full head of dreadlocks. So that's how I have a whole head. It's all my hair except the one place where the hair broke off at the crown is half of it's fake hair because it was like literally I was like Dennis the Menace. I had one little piece of the standing straight up. So with the exception of 6 inches of my hair, that's it. So you have to use a special no residue shampoo. People maintain their dreadlocks themselves. They just separate them or whatever. I go 3 times a year because I can't hold my arms up for that long anymore. So I go 3 times a year, 3 to 4 times a year for maintenance. I actually go to Manifest in Fort Myers now, and I went to Limelight in Danielson, Connecticut. Kayla at Limelight, and Taylor is the owner of Manifest. She does a great job. And I use, you need to use a no residue shampoo. I use the Dolly Locks bar, but my loctician now does not like it. She says
loctician.
That's what they call them, loctician.
Interesting.
Although she's a hairstylist. You don't have to be a hairstylist to be a loctician, but you do have to be, and you don't have to be a hairstylist and be a loctician. You can be either or both, if that makes any sense. So a loctician is somebody who does dreadlocks. You do not have to have a license to do hair. A hairstylist has to have a license, but most hairstylists do not know how to do dreadlocks, especially on white hair. And that's kind of a thing too, is like you, when in having dreadlocks as a white woman, or maybe spicy white, I don't know, depends on who you ask. There's this whole thing. I'm Portuguese. Google said that I'm Hispanic. I don't know. I would love to be Hispanic. That would be great. I love Hispanic people. I love all people. Actually, I like everybody but white people pretty much. I mean, white people are okay too, but like I like people who have different food. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want to go. I want to go to because I never got to travel, so I like to go to your house, hang out with your family, meet your mom, and have the fancy food, and say thank you, and learn about your culture.
I do know this. We're going to the Puerto Rican night at Fenway South again.
Because that was amazing.
It was so good. It was so like there were like this band. Because it was the Puerto Rico world team versus the Red Sox, whatever. And so halfway through, there's this band that comes down the main aisle, like like they're doing their thing. It was unbelievable.
The crowd was. He said I wasn't there because I was sick, but the crowd was unbelievable.
The crowd was so much better at that game than it was to a normal game. So
the normal games are like during the day, and it's like.
Yeah, well, I mean,
people. Like I think the nighttime
Minnesota
games, the nighttime
games
probably have a very different vibe than the daytime games. I would think.
Potentially, yeah, I guess.
Think about it's Florida. Like half those people can't drive home at night. Okay, so the dreadlocks. So I got to put in, I had the whole head done and use special shampoo. So Doug has bought me some fun things. And one of the things he bought me is this purple hood that plugs into your hair dryer to dry your dreadlocks.
It looks like a purple Davy Crockett hat. It's
but it's like, but if it was like an inflatable.
It's an inflatable,
it's inflatable. Yeah. And so I wear that and dry my hair sometimes, but usually I just let it air dry in the Jeep if I can. But after I wash my hair, it is so heavy. I can't even lift my head up by myself. Like Doug has to squeeze it out.
I will like.
How long? It's usually spend a good 5-10 minutes wringing them out.
Oh yeah, it's like when anything you like try to wring out a towel or whatever. It's like It takes all your might to do it, and it's so heavy. It's
I
crazy
do, in
amount.
fact, wash them regularly, and I also do a deep cleanse. And so the deep cleanse has been the bane of our existence because, so our house in Massachusetts, I mean, both the tubs are really small, right? So, but our house in Massachusetts, I have an inflatable tub that it's a basin that you put your head in to
Like
soak your
head size
dreadlocks.
inflatable.
It's
tub.
like literally like a shampoo bowl at the hairstylist, except with it's like a shampoo bowl with a hairstylist, even with a cushion, except that it's, portable and inflatable. But we had wood floors and, it wasn't our home. I didn't want to risk spilling water. So we would kind of deflate the thing a little bit, and I would put it in the tub with me with my feet up the wall, and I would have to do the deep cleanse. So the deep cleanse is you're putting baking soda and vinegar in your hair to get like the dreadlocks clean, and you're like sitting there soaking with baking soda, vinegar, and essential oils.
It's foaming up like a 8th grade science volcano.
Yes, okay, but what happened the first time we did it? What did you pour in my eyes?
Maybe that solution of baking soda, vinegar,
It was
essential oil.
It was just the vinegar and the essential oils.
Vinegar, yeah.
Right in my eyes.
Folks, just if your wife ever says pour vinegar on me, just don't.
Yeah, but I have to have help with these things because I'm half a cripple. So then we turn the so one time I decided I was going to turn the other way and just put my head under the faucet and rinse it. And so we had how like the shower curtain liners, there's the ones that feel like fabric even though they're a shower curtain liner. It's fabric, but it's a shower curtain liner. So I'm laying under the faucet and asking Doug to rinse my hair, and somehow because we have the sprayer, and somehow he gets the shower curtain in front of my face and is basically waterboarding me for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'm screaming my head off. So yeah, I mean,
So I leaned into it and I'm like, tell me about the terrorists.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
And I started yelling, Gitmo, Gitmo.
It was so bad. I have never laughed so hard in my life. And it was so funny. I peed myself, which thank God I was in the tub, but then I like got peed.
This wet like shower curtain is over her face. It was unbelievably funny.
So to answer your question, they're really not a lot of work. So I go to the hairstylist 3 to 4 times a year. I love her. I miss Kayla, but Taylor's also excellent. And it's like, I always like make friends at the salon.
Well, you have a hard time making friends.
We have a lot in common. We have a lot of the same interests, and I don't have a hard time making friends. We have a lot of the same interests. We've talked about a lot of holistic health and just views of the world. And it's funny because we have these great talks, and we'll talk about sex, politics, religion, drugs, you name it, we talk about it.
You know what? You should do a podcast from the chair next time. That'd be amazing.
I don't know if she would do that, but like, I'm not saying that we agree on everything, but we just have great conversations about everything.
I'm just trying to get out of the podcast really for one day.
You're not getting out of the podcast for, well, you might. So anyway, she did the, so I really like going in for my appointment. I'll usually get Reiki while I'm there too. At least back in Connecticut. I've never really done it in, here in Florida. Then I wash them like once a week. And then I deep clean them every 3 months right before my appointment. So I basically have to contend with my hair like a quarter of the time anyone else does. It's just that when I do it, it's
it's an ordeal.
It's a project.
There's waterboarding. There's chemicals.
Waterboarding.
Not chemicals, but vinegar.
The other thing is that there's like some controversy over the over Caucasians or white people having dreadlocks, and that used to be the politically correct term. Well, when I talk about a serious subject, I try to use serious words like Caucasian.
We're talking about the Caucasian.
Or whitey. I'm going to call myself whitey.
You can't say that.
I call myself whitey.
Milk
it's
face.
Like
That's what you call yourself.
If black people can call each other the N-word, I can call myself whitey.
I'm going to call myself milk face.
Okay, milk face.
Die milk face.
You don't look like milk. Oh, he died.
No. Which guy?
Didn't the die milk face guy die?
No, I don't think so.
Why did you post on your friend's wall?
Because it was his birthday. He was great.
Oh, okay.
Emmett Walsh.
Just had a birthday. Anyway, not the point. So,
I think that's...
they, the one of the things, if you read online, like people will tell you, Lazy Dreads has a great YouTube channel all about dreadlocks, and he's awesome. He doesn't have dreadlocks anymore, but he's a brilliant photographer as well. His name's Christian something. Anyway.
Just Google it. Christian something.
Well, if you look up Lazy Dreads and Christian,
okay,
it will come up. You'll see his photography and his dreadlock stuff. But what was I saying about the dreadlocks? Oh, so I was worried about people. Oh, the dogs in the neighborhood are out.
Son of Sam.
It's possible. On fireworks.
Well,
we also have
we
fireworks.
hope they're fireworks.
Again, that's
Duck
the
and cover, folks.
Second podcast with fireworks.
Fireworks. Yeah, this is Florida, baby. This is Florida.
That was the marital hate button. Maybe it should be this
Oh,
button.
right. We need more buttons.
More buttons.
Yeah.
More buttons. So anyway, that's going to drive the dogs crazy too. Sorry guys. So anyway, one of the things I was worried about, because there would be people online that were just very Karen-y and saying, you know, what your, what's the cultural appropriation? I'm just trying to keep my hair from falling out of my head. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just trying to make it in the world, and I'm really sorry if it offends you. That's not my goal. And also, I think that white people have the market cornered on being a Karen, so stop it already. Like, get over yourself. Because, I mean, I really am, but like...
Quite an accusation.
You can both think that is, like, I can both care about their feelings and also think, like... Cut me some slack for my very specific circumstances here. I don't mean any harm to anyone.
You don't know what anybody's going through.
I don't mean any harm to anybody. And if you want to do, and it's funny too, though, I've heard it more from white people than I've heard it from black people. It's always like the person that's got to take the stance for other people. And in public, every black person I've met has complimented my dreadlocks.
Even when you yell across the restaurant, this months ago, she sees this black gentleman coming out of the restaurant. We're going in, yelling, "Hey, we're twins!
Hey, we're twins!
Hey, you look good!" Yeah, it was going back and forth, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, just because you never know how that's gonna. Because I'm like that. Like I'll be outgoing with people, and you never know how people are gonna be receptive to it.
Sometimes we talk to people and we'll engage anybody,
but
people
are awesome, right? So
some people
like,
but some people are like, what is wrong with these fucking people? Or they're like, get away from me, or like whatever, or they're like, what is wrong with those people? But,
yelling across the
but
parking
we're
lot.
gonna have fun no matter what, and we want you to be part of our fun. That's why we're having this damn podcast. So like, we hope that everybody's like, I don't know. I hope that everybody's like kind of getting like the vibe we're going for. Oh my god, what are we, like hipsters? The vibe we're going for.
I'm thinking too old for that.
The vibe we're going for is that we want y'all to know that you've got friends. We're here. We love you. Doug won't say he loves you. He doesn't tell his kids he loves them. Really, it's a problem.
Whatever. I'm gonna rub some dirt on it.
He's part of that generation.
You know what? Maybe this podcast is opened my heart into
expressing your feelings.
Expressing my feelings.
Tell your children you love them.
I love my children.
What are their names?
Both of them, Wesley and Nolan.
Was that off a
And
script?
I also love my stepchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love our friends, and some people falling out of the love category of
yeah,
late,
but even if we don't like
but we're
their
still
behavior,
like, okay,
we still love them. Like, we love everybody.
So yeah,
I'm just like, I like will meet somebody. I'm like, oh my god, they're my new best friend, and Doug will hear about that person for like, I don't know what, 6 months.
Oh my god,
and then I'll shut up. But
it's an obsession.
But if I just meet you casually in line and we don't hang out immediately, like if I meet you at the grocery store in line and we don't exchange phone numbers, it's like we only met once in the grocery store at line, and you're like, wow, I had this really in-depth conversation with this woman, or it continues and we talk every day for the rest of our lives. Actually, I have a few people, Tracy and Cindy. I have a few folks I need to reach out to right now.
My problem is that I will hear about, I met this person in line at the plant store and blah, 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 blah. And so then 2 weeks later, I'm talking to Pamela. I'm like, who's Pamela? Oh, the plant store lady. What? So like it's so disjointed after, through time and space and the sheer number of people. But I should talk. I mean, I'm a friend.
Random friends.
I have friends with half the people from Trader Joe's in Foxborough.
Well, you are both a Trader Joe's groupie and a music groupie and a television groupie. You're friends with Mickey Dolenz. And
I'm not friends with him.
What's the other one's name?
Oh, actually, Davy Jones was the first Facebook friend I ever had that died.
Oh.
So that was my first ever. I think, but...
Just goes to show that Facebook is only old people now.
Less numbers. Eventually, they just turn it off.
I'm so bummed out about Craig.
Are you bummed out about MySpace? If Blockbuster
I did
can
not
make
have the best
comeback.
experience on MySpace. The last time I spoke to my sister was on MySpace. I was really hoping to reconnect with her. That did not go the way that I wanted it to.
Well, she was friends with that Tom guy.
Well, anybody who's friends with Tom is a friend of mine. And then there was a friend of mine was breaking up with his boyfriend, and then his boyfriend contacted me and wanted to be my friend, and I hadn't been friends with this guy in years. It was just super weird, and it's actually funny because this is actually a really good example of how sometimes you'll be friends with someone, and something happens, you decide you just can't have them in your life for whatever reason. Doesn't mean you hate that person. I wish everybody well. Right. Even people who have done me grave harm, I wish them hell. I wish them well. Freudian slip. I wish them well. And I actually keep in my phone, I have a photo album, and it's called People I Pray For Every Day, and it's pictures of various people in my life. And some of them are people that have hurt me the most, and I pray for them every day so that I don't hold on to my pain. It's good for them, maybe, and good for the universe.
You're like a guru.
Maybe, but you know what? The funny thing is that we had a conversation. We'll have to tell you about that birthday another time. But on my birthday, we'd gone to Have It on Norwell on Scoosett Street. And we had met. Did I already tell this story? Why do I feel like I have deja vu?
We started to talk about it last night, but I don't think you really got to the meat of what the result of the reading was.
The psychic Robin, she was fantastic. She told me, and I remember this when I got into bed last night. She told me that Doug and I we weren't going to have any money problems, and we were going to help people learn to manifest. And I'm like, wow, maybe that's what's happening here. But then today, Doug was saying, I don't want it to come across as too preachy. I'm like, well, we'll just be us. And unfortunately, sometimes I sound like a mom, because guess what? I was a mom, and sometimes I go off on ridiculous rants about nothing, and it's because I'm a pothead. You knew that.
And you like to talk a lot.
Yeah, you're so quiet.
I am.
I think your friends are just shocked that I talk more than you do.
They kind of are, yeah. I've actually received some emails and posts about that, yeah. And,
what are you sharing?
Huh?
Has anybody said, shut your damn wife up?
No, nobody said that. Actually, they think you're
pretty
amusing because I think a lot of them talk a lot, too.
I don't know. I think we have so many of our friends have been following this and reaching out to us with comments, and it's meant the world to us, and we really appreciate it. And if it's we're gonna try to do it. Everything you guys can do to support us really helps. We're gonna try to do whatever we can to support you in return, and that means doing this every night, Monday through Friday, and trying to make it better all the time. And we've done a few things this week. I changed the website so we can now have our emails. Doug will work on the website over this weekend. We fixed it so that we're live streaming and streaming to YouTube, and there's a YouTube channel, and we have some icons that we didn't have before. And then I figured out some stuff through ChatGPT, which has really been helping me with all of this and figuring out how to do it. So we do have a plan in place. It's just coming along slowly but surely. As for the dreadlocks, when I met Doug, I was 140 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Tits, waist, big ass, high heels,
What's
tight
not
little
to love?
dresses. And with my illness, I have obviously I've changed a lot. I've gained a lot of weight. I've gained over 100 pounds. That's been fun. Whole story. People with Lyme either gain weight or lose weight. Guess where I fell. Anyway, not the point. My daughter got her nose pierced and wanted me to get my nose pierced too, and so I said I would. One thing I learned was that it can help with female reproductive health issues, and so I did that. It was before my hysterectomy. Still had to have the hysterectomy. So whether that is true or not, well, I don't have the female problems I had before, so I guess it did clear it up, right? And then my daughter was going to get a tattoo, and she was going to get either Kinky or Taco Bell tattooed inside of her lip. And I said over my dead body, and many of her other tattoo ideas were very concerning. So she said, oh, well, what if we got mother and daughter tattoos? And so we did that. So we got the teacup and the teapot, and it's actually I don't think you can see it, but it's my great-grandmother's china pattern, and my daughter has the teacup. And that's really hard for me to talk about, so my daughter doesn't talk to me. And so because that's really hard for me to talk about, I went in and got another tattoo. And Doug can
I guess
tell
you could call
story.
it a tattoo.
Doug could tell you that story.
Well, she's like, yeah, I'm going down to the tattoo place, right? I figured, because I figured she'd be gone an hour or something, right? Come back with a little something, right? Whatever. She comes back, full sleeve outline, and this was like 6 hours later, like with a full on whatever, and I was like, oh, I guess we're doing that. And,
yeah, my artist always taps out before me. I was in the chair 7 hours, and
Yeah.
he just couldn't do it anymore. And so I went in 1 week. I had the Mad Hatter was done, and then a bunch of stuff was outlined. And then the following time, I went back and for all my coloring and some more art. I'm really supposed to have more
tell
done.
the folks what it is.
It's an Alice in Wonderland sleeve. So basically what it did was I still have the teacup there. And I had actually, when we were there, talked about getting a full sleeve at some point, because I really have always had this thing about Alice in Wonderland and just kind of how it mirrors my life. And I just decided I was having a really hard time when she first left home, because people would ask me about my tattoo all the time. And so I only tell a few people about it, and I really don't usually talk about.
So don't say anything to anybody.
Yeah, don't tell
spread
anyone.
it.
I also don't talk about being estranged from my kids very much because it's really painful for me. But I feel like it's important to talk about real things in our lives, and so I think a lot of families are broken, and it makes me really sad. So I pray for my girls every day. I pray that they come back into my life every day, and I just want everybody to have peace, love, and happiness. So cheesy.
And ink all over their arms.
So I have ink all over my arms. So when you met me, I was 6 feet tall with the shoes on, the makeup. No, I didn't wear a lot of makeup, but eyeliner and whatever, mascara,
appropriate
lip gloss.
amount.
Less than most women.
Boots up over the knee.
Less than most women.
Yeah, a lot less than. Yeah.
But I would always have a dress on, high heels, and then now I'm very heavy, and I haven't been on scale in a long time. I did buy batteries for it, but Doug hasn't put them in, and we can't find them, so I'm really not complaining.
They disappeared.
But we also need them for our air tags, and the switch for the sauna. It's not bougie. We bought it from someone in the Lyme community, and
we've moved it 8 times.
8 times, 6, but close.
Hyperbole.
So she, so I had, so here I am now. And Doug
Still
tells
beautiful.
people that I have. Thank you. And you tell people that I have.
Syphilis.
No, I have syphilis' cousin. I have that I have yarn hair and I color all over myself.
Yeah, which is funny because.
And I had a job.
She would always tell
I made a lot of
tell
money.
people what I did for a living, and she said, "Oh, he colors in air conditioning."
I stole that from Jamie.
Stole that from Jamie up in Maine, but so yeah, she's so she's all colored all, and I think I think everything you do is an evolution, and I sort of stay the same in a weird way, but I definitely feel myself improving, whether it's music or professionally or being a husband. I think every day
Or as
I
a
learn something
person.
new.
As a person. We're always trying to be better.
Yeah, and so I think, so you say, oh, you that person wasn't necessarily better than what you are now. It might be better in the terms of the norm, right? Of you're working, you were this, you were that. But if you knew now what you knew then,
I get it.
you would.
I get it. Like a tadpole is still great when it's a frog.
It's actually better when it's a frog.
Am I better now?
I think you just constantly improve. I think the hard part for me is to see you be so sick and not being able to just to struggle in an everyday day thing, and a lot of people don't they can't appreciate it because you kind of you rise to an occasion when people call or come over or things like that. So that's hard. It's hard for me to see you, and that's the hardest part of all of it. And you just want it to go away, and you're angry at it, and you're also like, how can such a weird thing cause this much damage, right? To a person.
Well, and especially if you knew who I was before I got sick, because I was not I realize that watching me, it seems like I'm so energetic and so bubbly and all that, but I would be what was I like before? My boss Mick introduced me to everyone in Poland as Hurricane Stacy. Like I would get up at 5, work out, do conference calls, usually 5, be texting my boss and demanding contracts, driving him insane. And then I would work till like 9, go to the gym, come back, work all day, run around with the kids from like 3 to 6, work till 9 or 10. Like, yeah, every night, if not more. It was, I was at every sports activity my kids did. We went everywhere. We went and did all kinds of activities and stuff. I took all their friends to do things. Their friends were over all the time, and
the anime club over.
And then just
I hear stories.
Stop. Just
everything was just
so
pulled the rug out.
So I basically bait and switched you. Sorry.
No, well,
didn't mean to.
I bait and switched you too. I thought you were getting this douchebag, and then you get this really nice guy. This douchebag taking selfies in his car. Because everybody did it back in the day with the flip phone. It was flip phone.
I will forgive you. I will forgive you as I have come to enjoy the newly found play music whenever you have sex with a musician because it makes it that much better.
My goodness.
10 years. We're still doing new tricks. All you people. So statistically, couples stop having sex after 5 years of marriage. Most couples, and most couples stop having sex after 5 years. And so we've been together 10. We still have sex on a very regular basis. We're not swingers or anything crazy like that.
Yeah. No, let's put the brakes on that.
Hang on. No
we'll
judgment.
do it. That's a different episode.
You do you. But
do
for us,
I don't.
I taught him how to do the cheat code. I don't want to have to teach anyone else. You remember?
Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Close enough. But if you put the music on, he does it even better. So anyway, we're not swingers, but we are happily married, and we've been through a lot, and we really appreciate one another, and we're having I think I there's so many TV shows that are like, our lives are perfect. Our lives are not perfect. We are literally just like you. Sometimes you watch TV and you're like, oh, they're just like me. Don't you ever see that? Don't you ever
when I watch
TV
Cops.
You think the criminals are just like you, or the cops are just like you?
No, the criminals.
You're not like a criminal. What have you done that's criminal?
I did reverse looting at Best Buy once.
That's a whole other story. You can't get off onto a tirade about it.
Okay, sorry.
How are you?
Ask me about reverse looting. How am I what? Like the cops? No, I don't know.
You're not like cops. Who are you like on television?
On television?
Who is there on television that you can relate to?
Oscar Madison.
Okay, that should tell you everything you need to know about my life. He's more like Felix, but that's a whole
I'm like way more like Felix. So bad. Which is funny.
It's a nightmare.
With my vocabulary.
Is when you watch somebody on television, there's people you can relate to. Well, trust me, you can relate to us because we have the same freaking problems. We're in the same boat you are. And I wish I felt like I was on an island, but I talk to everybody. Everywhere I go and make friends. I'm sitting here on the computer, 10 people calling me a day, and I'm happy to talk to everybody. But I just don't, I'm always busy. So that I want to respond to the comments, so we should wrap up. But I just we make the best of life and whatever it brings to us, and I'm really, really grateful for my husband. And we've been doing gratitude lately, so this actually wraps up beautifully. Indeed. We've been doing. I'm so grateful for my husband and the fact that he still thinks I'm gorgeous, even though I have yarn hair and tattooed arms. And
it gives me the edge, though. And now I feel all superior because I don't have yarn hair and I don't have any tattoos.
Boring.
I can get buried in a Jewish graveyard. See ya.
I don't think you can because you're not Jewish.
Oh, damn it!
I have an itchy back. Okay. So,
I thought I was in.
What are you thankful for? You're thankful.
I think one of the things I was grateful for, my friend George sending me the video of Oil Can Boy.
That's awesome.
That made my day. It was just.
I'm actually grateful that George got to do that. That makes me really.
Oh
happy.
yeah. No, absolutely. And it's funny too because you think you're friends or whatever, and George is at the luxury box at the thing, and you're just so psyched that George is doing fun stuff and everybody's doing stuff, and my other friends are that are doing well, and that just brings you joy, right? And a lot of people don't they'll think oh, what do I have, what I don't have, all this other stuff, but just seeing everybody succeed is a pretty awesome thing.
I am Gosh, I have so much to be thankful for. I had a really good chat with my friend Todd today. He, like I said, he's out. I think he's in Oregon. He's, I know him through my friend Deb.
It's pronounced oregano.
It might be. Our favorite Italian's from Oregon, so it's possible. But anyway, he's battling some health stuff as well, and we had a good chat about that today. And he gave me some really great feedback on the podcast. It just, oh my God, it just made my day. It made me feel so good, and it made me feel so good about what we're doing. What do you got? Whip through it. We got to do 5.
Yeah,
You're in your second
5?
one.
Oh my goodness.
Well, 5 each. You're in your second one. Shouldn't be hard.
Thankful for people helping me on the job front, just across the board. That
people are trying.
It's so hard, right? It's so hard because it's like you're kind of on an island here, and you're like kind of reaching out to folks, and just people looking back to you. But I sent an email yesterday, and before I even hit send, I swear to God, this someone called me on the phone about it. So just trying to plug through it and stay positive and things like that. So I think. And I look at it more of like a week-to-week thing, and I think it was probably a better week on that. So I would say that I'm grateful for the people that are kind of out there looking out for me.
I am also grateful for those people, but that's why we're only doing 10 total instead of 10 each. I'm for number 3. I am so grateful for our pool. It gives me a chance to get some vitamin D. I can just, even though I don't feel well, I can just get in the pool. Today, I didn't swim my laps, but I just, did some leg exercises, and it just, to help get my lymph moving or whatever. But I'm really grateful for the pool and the fact that we can afford our rent, which is only $2,200 for a house with a pool, and the pool service and lawn service are included. We're so grateful. Okay, go ahead.
Indeed. I would say I'm grateful that you've been able to do some healing stuff. Because there was a stretch there that you weren't in a, I don't know if it was headspace or physical space that you could really, kind of stomach doing it. Like,
oh, you mean because I'm doing like my my rife and stuff like
that?
That?
Yeah, you're doing your rife, you're doing your Epsom salt baths, you're doing the pool.
I'm nagging you about healthy food.
Nagging me about healthy food, which is always good. And I think like we're just trying, it's in a weird way that we're in this like sort of
turning the corner, don't you think?
Well, I think the podcast helps a lot because we have something to focus on. We realize that it's not just us in a bubble. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that, the people that contact, and I'm grateful for those too, but like the people that contact us on a daily basis or weekly basis, that kind of thing, just, kind of reaching out, and it, because we're so many miles away from most of our peeps, if you will. Right. And just people reaching out helps a lot. I mean, and since we've been here, we've obviously the boys have come down a lot, but we've seen people, and people have come down, and we've met people out and about, and
but we haven't been going out much with me being sick, so it's really meant a lot.
But yeah, so people reaching out has been fantastic. So
okay, that's
a couple of gratefuls.
That's 3.
Right there.
Okay, so yeah. I got I said I was grateful for the pool. You're grateful for people reaching out. I'm grateful. My friend Anne is coming to visit, I guess in June.
At some point.
Hopefully we are not living in our cars by then. And I actually have a 2-parter. I'm sorry, I have to. You can steal my second one.
Go ahead.
But she said she's going to come down. But the other one is I've had like a bunch of people offer us money, and I'm like, thank you. So like, please stop offering us money. Like we really, really appreciate it.
Wait till we need
so
it.
Sweet.
And then
when we need it, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But it really means so much that people have offered. We really it just means the world, and we would never take it, but we thank you so much for offering. It's really sweet. And then I have one final thing when you're done.
Okay, I would also say I'm grateful for GarageBand because I pretty much finished 2 of my songs today that were just like this far from being finished. They needed like one little line that I wrote, so those are done. They're in the can. I have to just listen to them, mix them, and maybe get some assistance in making those public ready. But I think I got a hit in my hands. Antenna Farm.
Go to
Antenna Farm. Wait till you hear it. It's good.
Amazing.
I'm very excited about it.
It's amazing, but you can get a sneak preview if you go on Doug's website, douglasgear.com.
You hear a little.
And if you go to bio and there's a record, you click on the image of the record and it plays. Yeah.
Plays a
And
snippet of a
it's
song called
only
Perfect
plays
Bill.
a snippet?
Plays a snippet of it. Yeah, otherwise it takes too long to load. But what I'll do is I'll work up like some sort of thing so we can put these on YouTube and you guys can hear them and
Well,
download
I thought we were
them
just
and,
going to put them
and
on
buy 'em.
Spotify.
Well, that's what we're working on. We're working on all that
So maybe
stuff,
we could get, do you think we could get like a live acoustic one night?
No.
Not
That's
even a
too
partial
much
live-
pressure. That's too much pressure. I would need lighting. I would need a rider. I need no brown M&Ms.
Every night since we've had this podcast, I put on like a softcore porn show by jiggling my boobies around. And you can't
Wow.
come up with a microphone.
That's because you liked jiggling your boobies in an exhibition.
I think it
now,
helps move
as
the
far as-
lymph around. Do you think it helps with the lymph?
That's what the pool does when you swim around and they're like swimming like jellyfish.
I'm gonna be like known as like the lady who plays with it. There's somebody's gonna make a video montage of me playing with my boobs.
Yeah.
This podcast. Oh well.
It's all good. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
So we said what we were grateful for. Let's interact with our friends. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. Todd. Hey Todd.
What's up, Toddy?
No bats. Who is she on Friends?
Yeah, we kind of talked about I went on a tangent about
He's
that.
Chandler. He's Chandler on the Little Ross.
I don't want to be. I want to be.
The
anybody
dreads are
else.
not a lot of work, but our marriage is. I love my yarn hair and my colored arms too. I hear you're getting yarn hair too. I can't wait to see pictures. I don't know if you have. Yes. No. Do you have color? I don't know if you have colored arms. If you do, please share with me. My new friend, Tracy, has a beautiful tattoo with the coordinates of where her parents are buried at sea here in Florida. And I have a tattoo with the coordinates of Situate Lighthouse and an anchor on my left foot, which is where we got married. Not my left foot, Situate Lighthouse.
Your left foot was at our wedding, however.
What's
The left foot was at the wedding.
Yes,
so
the left
it was
foot was at the
technically
wedding. I was
at
not
those
amputee.
coordinates.
I don't do a lot of the work in the bedroom, and I don't go to doctor's appointments. So Doug lubes it up and sticks it in, and then we're good to go. That's basically what I say. Lube it up, stick it in. It's kind of our motto. He didn't want.
They
me
wouldn't
to
let
get,
us have that on our license plate, Florida.
we
LB
So,
UP.
Doug, Cindy was asking, do you not like my hair even now?
No, I love it now. I love it. Yeah.
But when I first got, like, when I was doing it, it was like a full-on fight. And then how
But
long
it took
was
a while to get, like, you got it. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
And then how long?
It didn't take long. Yeah, because it's you. It's like, whatever, You
But if I didn't have rope hair now?
If you didn't have rope hair now?
Like if I had normal people hair?
If you were balding, like...
No, if I had like a normal, like if I had like a bob. Or like...
you're still you.
Long, straight hair.
You're still you. What difference does it make?
Because you had this whole thing and you were like, no, that would be weird. I was talking about cutting them even. You were like, no, that would be weird. I was like, I had a dream that I had a bob. And you were like, no, that would be weird.
Well, it's kind of become part of, like, you now, right? Like, you get in the Jeep, boom, boom, and it's, like, sticking out the top of the Jeep, with...
They're long.
It's like a thing. It's like a thing now. It's like, yep, it would be weird for you
They
to
come
not
down
have
to my
them.
belly button.
What are you, Daryl Hannah and Splash?
They come to my belly button. So anyway, the good news about the ones you have is you'll get a chance to see what they look like. My friend Natalia also has gorgeous dreads. They're new baby little dreads, but they're really cute. And I think that they're just like, even she could have like the worst dreads in the world, and I would be like, they're so good because I love Natalia. Yeah, he'll get on board. Yeah, he'll get on board. But the problem is that the big real dreads are it's a commitment. Because you've got to get them brushed out if you don't, and you've got to have them put in. It's a thing.
Especially if you get the crocheting and the teasing and the cross hatching.
Cross hatching. There's very little cross hatching. I would actually like to color mine, but because I feel like they're too dark right now. Like I don't know, but
yeah, I'm gonna dye my hair jet black for the podcast.
That would look ridiculous.
Yeah. And then
I would like to be gray. That would be cool.
Really?
Shit. Yeah, because my hair. I just feel like it's too dark for me now, and it's just
give
funny.
it a little while.
My aunt, love her to death, wants me to go darker with my hair, and I'm like, but this is my natural color. So, I don't know. It just my hair has been so many different colors. When I was a kid, it was platinum blonde, and they called me Blondie.
Yellow hair.
And then it was like white. And then I had it was like strawberry after I had it was always dirty blonde growing up, and then it was strawberry after my kids were born, and then I don't know what happened with it, but now it's back to this like
Well, I've seen pictures of you
light
with platinum blonde hair, and I didn't like it.
Well, when I was a kid, it was platinum.
Well, I didn't like you when you were a kid. You're too young for me.
Nobody likes me.
You in the Yankee hat.
That's why I
and the
have to
shirt.
make everybody else feel better.
Yeah,
about
you're
their
telling me
lives.
that you can do something
I'm
better than a boy.
overcompensating, which is all
No,
completely true. If I was a kid today, oh my god, they'd have me on puberty blockers. I can't even think about that. Oh,
They'd have you chained to a radiator like Black Snake Moan.
it wasn't that far off from that. But
And if
you know,
anybody has seen that movie, you're gonna laugh.
sometimes it felt like that, but it was not, in fact, like that. So I appreciate all of you. I hope we will not see you again until
Monday
because we need to rest and we need to work on the website and some other things. Doug needs to work on his music. And I'm gonna just make sure that the biggest thing I'm thankful for, that we cleared up the log jam.
Well, I wasn't part of that. I just could cheer you on and make
You were
celery
there in spirit,
juice.
though.
Well,
You did. You made me celery juice, and I
did.
had celery juice twice, and you brought me lots of drugs. Not drugs, but like
then I
supplements.
brought you that chicken I left out on the counter overnight.
Oh my god, I wish. Actually, one of my friends had posted a meme about going to Taco Bell for diarrhea. And I was like, oh my god, I would love diarrhea. That would be the best thing ever. And with that, good night.
Good night. Have a great weekend,
You guys
guys.
have a great weekend.
See you
We'll see you
Monday.
Monday.